And welcome into episode number 3 of the latest season of Sports Den. Alongside Malik Mitchell, I'm Matt Dean. We're here to break down all the action for you. All 3 of our North Metro TV schools fully into the fall sports season. Blaine, Centennial, Spring Lake Park. We're right into it with fall sports, Malik. We got a couple of cat clashes to break down when our North Metro schools are playing. And a big one, of course, on the football field. First thing that jumps out to me about today's show, man, week 2, we already got Blaine and Centennial football. I know you went to Eden Prairie, so when everybody played you guys, that was the biggest game of the year. But this was a big one early in week 2 for the Bengals and the Cougars already.
Right, 2 rivalry games. You know, those games are always exciting, especially between those 2 teams. And yeah, you're right. There's a lot of big matchups that's been happening for the past 2 weeks. You know, starting with, Blaine and Centennial. Last week, Centennial hosted Blaine for the Cat Clash rivalry game, and they didn't disappoint on their home field. This came, Centennial was up 2 games on Blaine before coming in this matchup. Starting with the first quarter, the Cougars went to work early with Dalen Cummings on the goal line, keeping it and pounding his way in to put them on the board first. Not much later, Matthew Carper takes this one up the gut and finds some space. Look at the big fella showing some speed. Still had one man to beat, makes a quick cut inside and becomes a race to the end zone. Look at the big fella go in. Centennial up now 14-0. Blaine still looking to find some momentum here on this next drive. So find that in Sam Shaughnessy. He rolls to the right, doesn't find anybody, so he takes off on the ground and turns on the jets, going all the way untouched to the end zone as he struts his stuff. Bengals only down 1. Last seconds of the first quarter, Ty Burgoon takes a handoff to the left side, finds a hole and shows off his speed. No one in his way as he scores to make them go up 21-7. Now in the second quarter, Centennial still has the hot hand. This is Harper lowering his shoulder and powering his way in for another touchdown. The Cougars up 28-7 at half. Now in the third quarter, here's Keaton Frazee kicking the field goal, showing off his boot, adding 3 more points to extend their lead 31-7. Blaine trying to hang in there. They'll give it to Michael Douglas as he makes a series of moves, sheds a man off, and finds the end zone. What a play by Douglas. But Centennial continued to dominate the run game. Here's Harper again, showing his pure power. This will be his 3rd touchdown of the night. However, Blaine still trying to get something going. They look for Douglas again to make it happen. Draw play up the middle. He fights for extra yards, and he will get in. Moving on to the fourth quarter, Centennial up 18 points. Cummings rolls to the right, and he sees Kellen Binder wide open downfield, and that would be the dagger to put this one away 45-20. Centennial Cougars take the Cat Clash.
What got you guys going tonight? You guys scored 28 points in just the first half.
You know, it feels good. You know, we always got a little fire going into this game, knowing that we got to beat Blaine. Just every year, got to beat them.
What was clicking for you here tonight?
You know, it's all the line. Can't do nothing without them. Got to thanks the defense, too, stopping on every drive, getting us the ball back.
Got to give all my praise to my line. That's where it starts. I mean, they were playing their butts off tonight, and that's where it starts. So that's where it came off from.
As we take it to full page, huge win for Centennial as they would dominate on the ground. I mean, 394 rushing yards says it all. They averaged 10 yards per carry. Babbitt Harper, the man of the night, led the backfield with 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. Back-to-back hat-trick games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Maverick Harper, we saw him get injured early last season. Centennial really didn't roll out a lineup, but still had a heck of a run to the state tournament last year. Now you got a healthy Maverick Harper. You got a healthy Dalen Cummings, who missed some time at different points last year, and with Ty Burgoon thrown in there too. That's a true 3-headed monster with that triple option attack the Cougars throw at you.
Right, and we can't forget about Blaine. They also had 326 total rushing yards, on the ground, but for them, they couldn't do it on a consistent basis. I would say Shaughnessy was the main point man who led the team with 191 yards. Matt, they had several missed opportunities to score, which is one of the biggest things that led to their downfall.
Yeah, tough break for Blaine, who were without starting QB Frank Daniels, but we saw the numbers. Shaughnessy, terrific, stepping in as a rushing quarterback. I think the Bengals feel like if they have their starting QB healthy, this is a game with a really good opponent here in Centennial, who now have started to take it to the Bengals the last couple of years in a row. Moving on to our other North Metro TV school, we had Spring Lake Park getting things in their home opener set to go as They hosted St. Francis on Friday night. First meeting in 11 years between the Panthers and the Fighting Saints, with SLP knocking on the door on their second possession of the game. A 4th and goal QB sneak by Keelan Conkler puts the Panthers up 7-zip. After a turnover deep into SLP territory, the short field taken advantage of by St. Francis, Tanner Rothbauer found Noah Lampson to tie it up at 7-7 just before halftime. Option football at its finest here. Conkler with a very late pitch. He finds Lamari Brown. What can Brown do for you? 63 yards to the house for the sophomore, and it's 14-7. Spring Lake Park, a score that would hold into the fourth quarter. We go to 2:15 left to go. This is Rothbauer, the Fighting Saints QB, stepping up, a little bit of pressure, slinging it, and finding his receiver Jacob Tilley in the back corner of the end zone. We're tied up going to OT. Nope, scratch that. Going for the 2-point conversion to win it, as Rothbauer rolls out Francisco. That's fun to say. The captain of the Panthers, Francisco Fernandez, with the bat down to win the game, and SLP hangs on by 1. So we take a look at the upcoming schedules for our North Metro TV schools. Blaine going to look to rebound after that loss to rival Centennial as they go to another border rival at Anoka in week number 3. They'll have 2 games on the road coming up. Centennial have got the defending state champs Maple Grove on the road. The Crimson coming off their first loss since 2 years ago when they fell in a 1-point game to Champlin Park last week. The Cougars, of course, with the 2 teams, Maple Grove and Rosemount, that met in the Prep Bowl last year, still coming up on their schedule. And then Malik, SLP, hosting Park Center in their second home game of the year on a Thursday night game we got on NMTV.
Yep, and then looking at the week after that, they got Rogers. We're talking about a team that has, one of the top players in the state at the edge position. That'll be kind of a difficult game, going against Rogers. So we'll see what happens that night.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch big man Wyatt Gilmore headed to Oklahoma, the guy you were talking about, one of the top recruits in the state of Minnesota. Man, hard to believe we're already into week 3 of high school football coming up. In the meantime, as we go to the volleyball court, teams are starting to get into the conference grind. We got some big matchups coming up. Really fun one that we had on Wednesday night on North Metro TV as Blaine hosted Andover, with the Bengals trying to snap a 5-match losing skid against conference foes. The conference opener with head coach Natalie Thines going for her 50th career win as the Bengal head coach. Huskies flexing the height advantage earlier. That was Iz Moses tipping it over to put the Huskies up 1 in the first set. Andover started to pull away, and a nice back row swing from Hannah Jakubiak made it 20-14, cutting into the Andover advantage. Here goes Morgan Miller talking about that size up front. A Clemson basketball commit would drive it to the back row, game point, and the Huskies go up 1-0 after the first set. On to the second, attack coming from the left side. Madeline Swanson, who finished with 6 kills for the Huskies, got Andover out to a 10-8 lead. Bengals looked to respond and tied up at 18-all on a big rip from Jordan Alstrup, the junior, looking all-state with that mighty right-handed hack, as Hannah Jakubiak would go into the block, however, of Andover. That would end the second set. Huskies go up 2-0 in the match, closing game number 2 on an 8-2 run. Third set now. Andover makes it 12-2 on the block, and it's, here we go again. The Bengals are probably thinking. They come out of a timeout. Not so fast. Jakubiak with an ace. It's tied at 15 all of a sudden. And now it's game point for the Bengals here in set number 3. Bengals end up going on a 14-3 run to close that game and end up forcing a fourth. All right, you win 1. Let's see what happens. Another close game. Allie Denicky, that serve not coming back for Andover. It's the Huskies by 2. Blaine going back to work on the serve receive. Chloe Keller from the right side, and a nice pass from Kenzie Aber, and the Bengals are back within 1. Now it is game point Blaine. Senior setter Kenzie Aber, little dump set, sneaks it by the Andover defense to take the game point. We're tied up at 2 in this match, going to 5. Tied at 5 early. Aber sets Gemma Hansen, who lambastes it to the back row, and Blaine are 6-5 leaders in this one. Denicky on the other side, a little bit of a change-up, crafty shot from the Andover outside hitter, drops it in, and we're tied at a dozen. It would go to 15-14. Playing into extra points is Moses on match point for Andover. Downs it, so Blaine comes all the way back to fall in 5 sets to the Huskies. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for all 3 of our North Metro TV schools. After that hard, tough loss for Blaine in the conference opener, they'll get back in NWSC action for the next 3 as they take on Osseo, go to Champlin Park and face Maple Grove before they face a section opponent following that in Cambridge Isanti. For the Cougars, they are looking to reel out of back-to-back losses as they head on the road to take on Mounds View. Spring Lake Park we will have against Totino Grace on Wednesday night coming up on North Metro TV as they go out of conference to take on nearby rivals Totino Grace in that matchup from Spring Lake Park High School.
Yep, Matt, let's take it back to the field. Both Centennial soccer teams traveled to Champlin Park last week, and they both came home with the win. You know, what a start to, both teams go to a school and dominate fashion. The women's did, the girls did really good, and the boys still got the dub, only winning by 1, but hey, a win is a win, right?
Yeah, I know we're excited about high school football, but man, there's some good soccer programs around this part of town.
Right, starting off with the boys, Champlin Park would try to scheme and find chances early in the game after receiving a pass on the right sideline. They got it to the middle for a chance to score, but unfortunately it was stopped by the keeper. But the play is not dead. Champlin Park got another shot off, looking for the low corner this time, but unfortunately another save by Centennial. Now in the second half, both teams still scoreless. Champlin Park tries to keep it conservative, but they slip up and by a bad pass by the goalkeeper. Dominic Trejo Munson intercepts it and dribbles it to left field. Fires a shot to the top far side to put Centennial on the board 1-0. 9 minutes left in the second half. Champlin Park still trying to score and tie the game. Here they're attacking the middle, but then it gets sent back off of great defending. Hustling, still trying to get to the ball, low cross, shot off. Chisada makes another save, and that's all she wrote. Centennial takes this game 1-0. And as for the girls, Centennial would come to play, putting on a dominant performance on the road. It's Champlin Park at Champlin Park High School. Here's Centennial going to work early, putting some moves on the defender. It finds one in the middle, actually scores off the left foot. Cougars up early, 1-0. Wasting no time, Champlin Park fills the ball on the left side. Here's Olivia Mell taking up and fires one in the back of the net to tie the game. Still some time left though. Centennial sends one down and replies with Marissa Frost, left foot, blasting one at the top of the net. Cougars regain the lead. Second half now, Centennial with a free kick, trying to set up shop. It's picked up by Centennial. She fires one, but it's deflected off the post. Tries again and scores. Centennial, their third score of the night. And they're back at it again, taking it to the left side down low. She's stopped by a player, but then repositions, turns and fires to the far side, scoring the 4th goal of the night. Continuing their momentum. They try to find something in the middle after a good move. It's a race to the ball, and she fires a quick shot to the low left corner. Cougars now up 5-1 with just 6 minutes left, but they aren't done. Centennial on the right side this time, then breaks to the middle for the attack, trying to find someone, and she does, but the shot is blocked, but they're not done again. They get a second chance on the other side, and she finds the back of the net. Centennial Cougars win 6-1 in dominant fashion. Switching to some standings on the boys' side, Matt, we got, Centennial not too far down in the conference. Blaine kind of a few slots behind them. What we're looking at.
Yeah, we'll have a good one coming up when Blaine and Centennial face off in a boys-girls doubleheader. That's coming up in a couple weeks on NMTV, and no surprise to see Maple Grove and Andover once again at the top of the standings on the boys' side. The Crimson are the number 3 team in the state, Andover at number 6, and Osseo, a little bit of a surprise unbeaten start. Man, hard to believe we got 4 or 5 games of conference action already in the books in soccer, with the boys getting started late August. And we're already getting deep into the season here in fall sports. Looking at the girls' side, Blaine, who got out to a 5-0 start overall on the year. Remember, the Bengals got out to one of the best starts in school history last year. They were unbeaten in 12, 11 wins and a draw last year before they would drop 2 of their last 4. Centennial out to a strong showing as well, too. They were the team that upset the Bengals in the section title game to go to their 3rd straight state tournament last year. So with games in hand, Blaine are atop the very early Northwest Suburban Conference standings on the girls' side. Upcoming schedules for the boys first. The Bengals will host Elk River in an out-of-conference matchup before they really get into the meat of Northwest Suburban Conference play. Of course, you see that September 26th matchup between the Bengals and the Cougars that we will have on NMTV. A fun one, as always, coming up on the 26th. For Spring Lake Park, it is Anoka, then Elk River, and then Osseo with the Elks facing off as well against our other North Metro TV school in a non-conference clash. On the girls' side, Blaine hoping to continue that 5-0 run to start the year undefeated. They've got Elk River, Osseo, Eastridge coming up. Raptors, really strong team last year that upended the Bengals. Centennial will go on a couple games on the road before returning home to face the Elks, while Spring Lake Park have Anoka at Elk River and Osseo next up on their slate before they got that big one with Blaine coming up to end the month. So we promised you 2 cat clashes today. Malik walked you through the Centennial and Blaine highlights on the football field. The other is going into the water. We're hitting all 5 fall sports. We got tennis still to come. Let's hit the pool where we had 2 of our North Metro TV schools facing off, Blaine and Spring Lake Park. This was on Thursday on September the 7th, where we will get to things started here in this dual meet with a 200-yard medley relay. The Bengal team of Callie Stark, Nevia Miller, Lana Ryan, and Gabby Bush would take the top spot in this one, and Blaine's 2nd and 3rd relay teams would finish 3rd and 4th as well. In the 200-yard freestyle, our first individual event, it's sophomore Lana Ryan racing away from the pack, 2 minutes and 4 seconds, almost 10 seconds ahead of the second best time. In the 200 individual medley, Nevia Miller, who was part of that Blaine relay team, finishes strong to take the top spot, and Blaine all 3 podium spots in the 200 IM. To the 50-yard free, this is Callie Stark racing to the end of the pool first. Ada German would nip Kylie Nordstrom by 7/100ths of a point for second place. On to a dive break. This is really where Spring Lake Park would shine. The Panthers took the top 3 spots. Sophomore Ellis Rotzenberg would finish with the best overall score in the diving event for Spring Lake Park, and the Panthers taking all 3 of the top podium spots in this competition. The diving portion breaking up the meet into the 2 legs of it in our cat clash in the pool. Back into the regular events, the 100 butterfly, Gabby Bush, smooth as butter, the junior from Blaine, would finish off at the top spot in that race. And we move on to the 100 freestyle, whereas again, Callie Stark claiming her 2nd individual performance of the day with the top spot, the senior from Blaine High School. On the 500 free, Panthers get the better of the Bengals in the long distance race. Kylie Nordstrom, a senior, finishes at 5:49 at the top of the podium. In the 200 free relay, Blaine's team of Reese Forrest, Kate Penoyer, Amelissa Pollock, and Ashley Ripley would take the top spot in this one for the Bengals. Then to the 100-yard backstroke, let's kick it back. Cora Roseborough, the sophomore for Spring Lake Park, finishes with the first place spot in this event for the Panthers. Last 2 events of the day, 100 breaststroke, Anna Milso. How about a 7th grader finishing in the top spot for SLP in that one? And then the 400-yard freestyle relay was won by SLP's team of 4 in this one.
Can you talk about what that's been like this season to help lead your team to obviously some fun results?
Yeah, it's really cool because a lot of our meets so far have gone really well, and I'm expecting a lot of good results in future meets. We have Bengal Invite this Saturday, so hoping that goes well.
Yeah, we're raw.
Yeah, it's been really fun to win this season so far, and lead with the team has been really fun since this is my first year being a captain too. So that was fun too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a few little problems with our pool, which has been interesting. exhausting. It's really hot, which is not always fun, but we've gotten through it. The name of the game this season is flexibility, so we've definitely had to practice that, but it's been good so far, mostly.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to in this season that you're trying to soak in?
Definitely senior night. That'll be super fun. We have that after our inter squad meet. It's in a couple of weeks here, so that'll be super fun. All the seniors dressed up in costumes, and it's just a fun meet. So, yeah.
And the juniors get to get gifts for the seniors, so that's always pretty fun too. So I get to be a part of that for the first time too.
Kristen always says that having fear is good because fear is respect for the task at hand. So I always like to tell myself that before I get up for a race, that it's okay to be nervous because that means I know what I'm about to do. So I like to use it as fuel to help me.
One of Kristen's big things is PMA, which is positive mental attitude, and that definitely gets me through some sets and just working hard and keeping positive with my teammates. So that makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Another cat clash, Matt. It looks like the Metro has a lot of good swimmers out there, but let's take it back to the court. Now we're going back to the court, right? Girls tennis, the Cougars hosted Andover at Centennial High School, playing their first matchup doubles of the season last week. Got the Andover Huskies versus the Centennial Cougars in Circle Pines. See Centennial up early. We got Sophie Wine and Ellie Finstermacher, sorry about that, going back and forth, capitalizing off errors as you can see there. Doing pretty good, switching sides. Centennial still up to this nice volley there, going back and forth. Good forehands, as you can see.
When the backline game now, Talbot getting involved says,
Centennial still hanging in there, still up, being consistent. Sophie Wine, some good forehands, still keeping the game alive. See an error there. Here's a volley right here. Another error right there. Match point here with Sophie Wine getting it done for the Cougars. Cougars win over
Pretty confident
and
overall,
over.
I would say. Our strategy was getting two up to the net and communicating, doing our strategies that we practice, and just playing together. We've always just been working on our serves and practicing, and even if you play doubles, I say it's still a very big part of the game, and it's a good asset to have. I just feel like, I don't know, she always knows where I'm going to be on the court. I feel like even though we haven't played together much, our chemistry is really good, and I can just always depend on her.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to stay together for the rest of the year. And same what Ellie said, our chemistry is great, and we always have a good time on the court. Even if we lose, we're still just giving it our all and just having fun.
your returns, you will be able to hit a lot of returns right down the line. Is that kind of one of your strengths, is playing more to the back and being able to hit those down the line?
Yeah, for sure. That's probably one of my favorite shots, is hitting right down the line. This is my first year playing with Ellie. I played fourth and third doubles last year, so this is first year together. It's really good. We love playing together.
What are you looking forward to most for the rest of the season?
I don't know, just getting closer as a team. We have a lot of new people up on varsity this year, so it's been really fun just bonding with the team, and yeah.
Just getting some more wins with Sophie and hopefully gain our singles in action.
Congratulations to them. Matt, we covered football, we covered volleyball, soccer, girls swimming. Right, we had to go down the line, right? A lot of good teams out here, football coming up. There's a lot of exciting sports that we've seen these big matchups and these huge wins in just the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, we hit all five. That's a rarity on the Sports Den. We're not necessarily giving you all five of the full menu of fall sports. Upcoming this week on North Metro TV, I'll be there with Justin Albachten on Wednesday as Totino Grace takes on Spring Lake Park. Justin played some college volleyball, so we're getting top-level analysis. It was fun doing the game with him last week, playing in Andover. Right. So looking forward to that. And then, of course, Spring Lake Park back at home. You'll be there doing some color as well, too, for some more high school football. We'll be back with Sports Den next week to break down all the action for all three of our NMTV schools. Thanks to Ted LaRue and our great crew here at North Metro TV. From Malik Mitchell, I'm Matt Dean, signing out on our third episode of the season here on Sports Den. Bye.